Hello and welcome back to the daily edition of Into Vietnam, only here on VITV channel and following some major stories. Vietnam's credit grows by 7.26% by the end of September. The State Bank of Vietnam affirms foreign exchange rate remains unchanged. And Deputy Prime Minister requires specification of traffic export monopoly and manipulation risk in Russia. The State Bank of Vietnam reported by the end of September, credit growth hit 7.26%, while total means of payment rose 10.73% and mobilization rate up more than 11% from December 2013. The State Bank of Vietnam has announced the results of monetary policy regulations and banking activities in September and in the first 9 months of 2014. As of September the 30th, total means of payment rose 10.73%, while mobilization rose 11.01% from the end of last year. Liquidity of credit institutions continue to be ensured and abundant, and the interbank interest rate went down and reached a stable low level. Up to present, the mobilization and lending rate in Vietnam Dong has dropped 0.5 to 1.5% from the end of 2013. Lending interest rates applied for all loans continue to be slashed by credit institutions. As of September the 18th, outstanding loans in Vietnam Dong, rated at over 15% per annum, accounted for 4.25% versus 6.3% proportion at the end of last year. Loans with a rate of over 13% per year accounted for 12.16% of total loans in Vietnam Dong, lower than the rate of 19.72% at the end of last year. As of September the 30th, total outstanding loans of local lenders were estimated to rise 7.26% from the end of last year, and credit structure continued to move towards a focus on prioritized sectors. The gold market in September maintained stable, and the local gold prices were in line with global ones. Deputy Governor of the State Bank of Vietnam, Ms. Nguyễn Thị Hồng, on October the 6th, affirmed that no adjustment had been made in the foreign exchange rate at present, despite the price of US dollar is rising during these days. She said, though the forex rate saw an increase on the interbank market in early October, it was much lower than that stipulated by the central bank. She attributed the rise to rumors about the central bank adjustment in the current forex rate. The foreign currency supply and demand was stable in September, resulting in a surplus of around $11 billion in overall payment balance in the 9-month period. She noted that the central bank will continue monitoring strictly the forex rate and implement monetary policy tools to stabilize the foreign currency market if necessary. The State Bank is willing to sell foreign currency to keep forex rate at a stable level. Improvements in the Vietnam stock market is a big chance for firms to jump at by getting listed on the floor. However, there is only a limited number of listed enterprises in the local stocks, and few of them understand the benefits of being listed. Business insiders say stock listing is an effective capital mobilization channel, especially for small and medium-sized enterprises. More details in the following report. Mainly due to rising sour debts, banks have tightened their lending procedures, making it tough for firms to mobilize funds from the traditional channel. However, there's another better way that they have largely ignored. That is via those local stock markets, which offer abundant funds from both major organizations and small investors. This is extremely feasible as the local stock market is in its golden time.
Thường là các doanh nghiệp Việt Nam thì vẫn là quan tâm nhiều đến cái dòng vốn ngân hàng. Tuy nhiên thì tôi cũng chia sẻ là còn một kênh huy động vốn khác mà rất là nhiều doanh nghiệp đã tận dụng hiệu quả và đã huy động được những cái nguồn vốn quý báu cho doanh nghiệp. Tuy nhiên lại không nhiều những cái doanh nghiệp biết được, tức là cái số lượng doanh nghiệp đã biết và đã thực hiện thành công thì là vẫn còn chiếm một cái tỷ lệ rất nhỏ trong tổng số các cái doanh nghiệp, đặc biệt là các cái doanh nghiệp với quy mô vừa và nhỏ trung bình trên thị trường Việt Nam. Đó là kênh thị trường chứng khoán.
Riêng cái kênh mà huy động theo cái niêm yết ấy, thì chúng tôi thấy đây là cũng là một cái kênh rất là tốt. Và cái kênh nó có thể là tạo điều kiện cho các doanh nghiệp vừa và nhỏ mà chưa tìm hiểu và chưa tiếp cận đến. Thì tôi thấy cái này là cái cần phải có cái tiếp cận.
Stock market is seen to be among the best fund mobilization channels. The first advantage is it does not require high lending rates. Secondly, business can use for good dividends earned from publishing their shares. This is better than the limited term funds offered by banks.
Là những cái nguồn vốn rất quý báu mà đặc biệt là doanh nghiệp sẽ không mất những cái chi phí, không mất chi phí cao như chi phí lãi vay để có thể đưa về tổ chức hoạt động sản xuất kinh doanh của doanh nghiệp.
Trong cái quá trình sử dụng vốn thì họ không phải chịu áp lực phải chi trả, phải trả nợ gốc cũng như phải chi trả lãi vay cho các khoản huy động đó. Cho nên là doanh nghiệp hoàn toàn chủ động và thoải mái trong cái việc sử dụng đầu tư ngắn và dài hạn một cách linh hoạt.
Business can enhance their image if they get a nod to being listed on the stock market. Once being examined on their financial transparency, operation effectiveness, and organization. In fact, it was proven that listing on the stock market is the best way to promote business image, which helps to facilitate the operations and seeking for new partners.
Ngoài cái việc là huy động vốn rồi thì tính công khai về thông tin, những cái thông tin của doanh nghiệp là phải báo cáo định kỳ hàng quý, rồi là báo cáo tài chính cũng vậy, rồi cái bản những cái thông tin về thay đổi nhân sự doanh nghiệp cũng phải thông báo rất là rõ ràng để cho các nhà đầu tư người ta biết được. Thì đấy là những cái lợi rất là cơ bản và uy tín của doanh nghiệp cũng được nhiều người biết đến, nó không phải chỉ trong phạm vi một địa phương và đôi khi nó ở trong phạm vi vùng quốc gia, thậm chí là ở cả nước ngoài nữa.
Đối với các doanh nghiệp niêm yết lên sàn là một lần để khẳng định mình là đủ vững mạnh, đủ sức để tham gia thị trường và có chứng nhận của thị trường về việc lớn mạnh đấy.
Stock listing not only brings about capital and promotional benefits, but also introduces business values on the floors, helping to boost the share liquidity of listed firms.
Ví dụ giá trị sản phẩm có thể là 10.000, nhưng mà cái giá trị doanh nghiệp của anh nó có thể lên hàng tỷ đồng. Đó là chuyện hết sức bình thường. Đấy, tôi nói đơn giản như phở 24, đúng không ạ? Đấy, cái lợi nhuận thì nó rất là thấp, có khi là hòa vào lỗ. Nhưng mà cái giá trị của cái doanh nghiệp phở 24 lại bán được 20 triệu đô.
Phở 24 invested $1 billion in the local stocks to earn back $20 million. Many other companies have used the stock market to realize the goals of mobilizing funds, promoting their image and enhancing their values. As the local stock is getting better, businesses, especially small and medium ones, should take the good chance from the potential market. Vietnam's largest fuel wholesaler, Vietnam National Petroleum Group, better known as Petrolimex, announced on October the 7th that it earns a profit of $1.4 trillion or $67.3 million within the first 9 months. The total turnover of the state-run corporation during the 9 months reached $155 trillion, or $7.45 billion, up 6% against the same period last year. However, the majority of the profit comes from other trading fields, as petrochemistry, insurance, water transport, and construction, where petrol contributes only 40% of the total amount. Last year, Petrolimex total revenues topped $196.3 trillion, equivalent to $9.26 billion, dropping slightly by 2.25% from 2012. However, its pre-tax profits surged 97% from $978.17 billion in 2012 to $1.93 trillion, or $91.04 million last year. Profits from fewer trading activity alone accounted for 768 billion dong, or $37 million of the sum. The government office on October the 6th said Deputy Prime Minister Hoàng Trung Hải required the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development to collaborate with the Industry and Trade Ministry to report ahead of October the 20th, 2014 on the risk of monopoly and manipulation over Vietnamese exports of traffic to Russian market, as reported on local press and media. Earlier, it was reported that exports of the seafood product to the market are being monopolized and manipulated by a number of local and foreign companies, which is a serious breach to the Russian laws and damage Vietnamese exports to the market. And now let's move on the bulletin with some foreign trade news. Members of the Vietnam Automobile Manufacturers Association, or VAMA, have enjoyed steady sales growth in the 7-month period ending in August. But this is not good news for local car assemblers, as according to the VAMA, sales of domestically assembled cars in the 17th month rose only 27%, while imported cars posted a 66% growth in the same period. The association added such a huge disparity was also recorded in separate months. In July, the growth of imported cars was 62%, compared to 24% for those assembled in Vietnam. The figures were 73% compared to 23% in May. Cars manufactured in ASEAN countries account for a considerable amount of the vehicles sold by VAMA businesses, as they are subject to a 50% import duty instead of the usual 60%. The VAMA businesses only sell made-in-Thailand pickup trucks, as the vehicles are only subject to a 5% import duty. According to the Vietnam National Textile and Garment Group, Vietnam may export as much as $25 billion worth of textiles and garments this year, up 16% from last year. Garment exports in the first 9 months rose 19% from a year ago to $17.2 billion, and India became the second biggest cotton provider for Vietnam after the United States, replacing China. Textiles and garments were Vietnam's second biggest cash earner after cell phones in 2013. Well, that's all for this edition of Into Vietnam. Thank you so much for watching. We see you soon and goodbye for now.